Good morning folks and welcome. It's a nice bright morning, although it has gone a bit cloudy, but we can't have everything, can you? Yeah. Anyway, what have I got for you today? You can probably already guess. Yes, this is an Alan Sugar special. Alan Sugar, I must tell you, and I don't give a fuck what he thinks. And I put him in the same category as fucking Clive Sinclair, and I don't really give a fuck about what he thinks either. Anyway, Clive Sinclair and Alan Sugar were fine purveyors of shite, and I mean, when I say shite, I mean shite. Unadulterated, ripping off the public crap. Anyway, and this is no exception. Just think somebody actually loved this at one time and they paid money for it. What we have here is an Amstrad, it doesn't seem to say a model number on it. Amstrad electronic belt drive turntable. Well, that's wrong for a start because it's actually a fucking BSR. Now these things, I mean, in all fairness, he fucking managed to sell them, you know, but they're crap. What is it we've got? It's a model SM101, and it says here made in England. They're not made in England, they're assembled in England. The cabinets were made in England, the rest of it, including I think the BSR turntable, we'll find that out when I undo it. All this lot was all made in Taiwan or somewhere around that region. Anyway, so what we'll do, we'll get a little tub. Now I've finished slagging Sinclair and Sugar off, which I get a lot of pleasure out of doing. Let's. Fuck me. Right. The idea is to pick these out, and you can then get to the rather crusty screws that are in there. Yeah. In all honesty, folks, I've already had this fucking piece of shit plugged in. The radio works, the cassette rewinds and fast forwards. It tries to play, but the take up spool doesn't go around, not properly anyway. But you know, we can probably forgive it that because it is old. I mean, you know, it's got to be getting on for 30 years old, this thing at least. And you know, I don't expect to find very much in here in the way of anything, but what we'll do, we'll I think these two screws at the bottom don't have to come out because they're don't think they do. I think they're just for the deck, for the rollers that hold the deck in. But I already know there's an issue with that, but there's two screws at the other side as well, exactly the same, so I've got a feeling they do have to come out. So I'm going to undo them all anyway. But yeah, this is definitely, and that screw there's chewed up. Actually, that's not even, there we go, managed to get a turn on it. fuck's sake. We undone there. We're undoing. There we go. Yeah, it's a different size screw. So, yeah, it's got a different head on that screw. Look, the rest of them are the same. A bit of rust on them screws, I hate to think. I know the turntable on this doesn't come in and out, and I also know that one of the gears have sheared, so you know, I'll have to find some other way of dealing with that if I decide to repair this thing, but we'll see. We'll start off by getting it, there we go. All the screws have got corrosion on them, so I'm expecting to find something inside. There we go. So for the purposes of the video, and I'm going to take this back panel here out as well, because I think that's how you're supposed to access the record deck. Ooh, that sounds very crusty, doesn't it? Ooh, I've just done a Donald. Right, see if we can, this should just pop out, this back panel, because it has to allow you to, ooh, that's a bit fucking disgusting. Ooh, look at that, all needs a good fucking clean. No wonder it fucking stinks of damp. Been in a damp place. Right, let's get this fucking, no, just think I plugged this in and all. Well, that's the screw snapped. I'll have to drill that one out. Luckily it's only going into wood, so that's not a great issue. Ooh, look at the state of it in here. It's going to need a good cleaning, this thing, I think, folks. Right, well, that's this, I think it was designed in a way where you could feed the whole fucking thing through, including the plug. There, look at that. Transformer disconnects, so we can leave. Right, we've got another, got any more plugs here? We've got a plug here. All these disconnect to allow us access to the, oh, fucking hell, that one don't want to move. It's stuck in. The cabinet needs a clean. It's warped here and all, but I might be able to take that out actually, because I want to put an auto changer in this. I might be able to do some modifications where I can fit an auto changer, and if I lift this up here, no, might be better off waiting until I get the, it's broken there, that'll need to be repaired. I probably did that when I pulled it apart, so never mind. It has to come out to get this out, so not really a lot you can do. And we disconnected down all the wires. I don't think there's any other, got another wire here. Yeah, that's the red one, the blue one, and there was a green one, and there's another one there. That doesn't matter. Now this, there we are. The record player pulls out, as does the rest of it. Look at that. So now Actually folks, the insides don't look as bad as the cabinet does. So disconnect that, because that's to the turntable, or in this case the turd table. No, I didn't say bird, I did say turd. What I'm planning on doing is taking this out, and I might be able to incorporate an auto changer in this, but we'll see. But that's for another video. I will give this an inspection. I mean, I could make a separate fucking box for that, couldn't I, and you reuse that. I mean, because it all works, believe it or not. Where's the power amp in this thing? Where have they put my power amp? That's not it, that's sockets. I mean, it does have a power amp in it. Nice to see there's a fuse there. That's always nice to see. Switches, easy to get at, to clean. That's always nice. Oh, there it is. It's a HA 137. 1377. HA tells me that's an Hitachi part. And it's all badged, it's all labelled as Amstrad, because Alan Michael Sugar likes his name. Likes to see his logo everywhere. Right, so what we'll do, we'll put the guts down there, because that'll all be cleaned up as best as I can get it. And I'll do something with that, but this case I don't know about. Let's get this record player out, and I haven't done all the screws, so the record player should just slide out, and take that piece of wood out. Well, sorry, I apologise. I meant MDF. Shame on you, Andy. Shame on you. I meant MDF. Sorry about that, folks. I lost my head for a minute there, calling it wood. Right. And there's the meat and taters of the fucking record player unit. So what we'll do, we'll pop that down there for a minute, and it's full of crap on the underside. Now the box, I'm not sure what to do with that yet. Fuck it now. Not sure what I'm going to do about the box yet, but I've got a couple of modifications in mind. I mean, I do intend to do something with this to make it saleable, believe it or not. I'm going to do it, and then I'm going to try and sell it. But my modifications might include Bluetooth. How about that? A Bluetooth Amstrad stack system. I probably won't use that cabinet. I might find something else to mount it in. If I do, I'll cut it down, because I've got a feeling I'm not going to be able to repair this record deck. So, and there's a wire being cut here, another wire being cut here, because when I tried this I noticed the motor didn't go. We've got a blue wire here. It's been well and truly chopped at, this thing. But what we'll do, we'll take the deck out. I mean, it's still got the belt on it and everything. I mean, it's not a total fucking loss. But the problem with this is it's jammed, and it will slide out, but I've had it out. So what we need to do is we need to push it forward and it's working on that gear there, it's tracking on that gear there like it should, just that one of the gears is sheared, and I know that because I've seen it. What I'm going to try and do, I'm going to try and make it so that it will work on maybe a belt if I can't replace the gear, and obviously that there stops it once it's in, that switch there. So what we'll do, we'll pull, I think this is a nice touch though. The transformer's actually mounted into here and not screwed to the side of the cabinet in the usual Amstrad way. You know, it's so basically all these rollers all need to be lubricated for a start. We've got a black wire and a red wire which is off here. They've been disconnected. They've been disconnected because that gear's sheared to stop this thing going in and out. We've got these ones here. These will need to be lubricated, and I think I should have left. No, it's designed to move. That there is bent up. That there's bent up. And I think that's supposed to move now. But maybe not, but we'll see. But let's get this out of the way for a minute and let's have a look at the record deck itself. There we go. Right. I've got a different t-shirt on today, folks. Yeah, right, so let's get into this. I've been working on the Alba as well, and you know, I might even be able to find a gear for this actually. Yeah. It's the belt, there's a belt up here from the motor that drives it down here, and it's not connecting down here, so basically what I need to do is work out. We've got a piece of plastic there, no, one of the metal clips that slides into it somewhere to hold this thing in, stop it sliding out. Basically what you do, see, when I was younger, these were like bread and butter things. You know, these were, let's get me magnet. There we go. These were bread and butter stereos when I was learning all them years ago. You know, when I was learning the business. These were bread and butter. But the thing was, you see, everybody had one. You know, they were like shit in a field, these things. They were everywhere. These little magnets are good, you know, if you're ever in a William Hill shop, stick one in your pocket. I mean, I didn't knock mine off, I asked for them when I was working for the company that cleans their shops, who are called Interserve, and they're complete and total fucking fuck dogs. They treat you like shit, and then when they've had enough, they sack you without a fucking good reason. Yeah, cunts. Now, I'm wondering if I've left something in here somewhere, because to be perfectly honest with you folks, when I worked on these years ago, I can never remember having to take one of these mechanisms apart, because, you know, I suppose if you looked after it and you did it, you know, you operated it according to the instructions, it shouldn't go wrong. But, you know, what I'm going to try and do is convert this so it can use a belt system, and so the tail's still going in and out. Right, there we are. That's that off. Right. Well, here we are with the BSR. Now, does the BSR unplug? It's already unplugged. Well, that's nice enough. And where's it made? Oh, it's made in Great Britain. One of the last ones that fucking was. Anyway, let's get the fucking thing out of it. We don't need the BSR. Don't need that. And we'll take this off as well, so we don't have to, if we can. No, we can't. It's got little screws on it. There's no stylus in this, I've already felt around underneath. Look how fucking light and nothingness that thing is. There we go. I mean, I mean, I could even slip another deck in where that was. So that's not where this was. So that's not even a problem. If I don't get the mechanism to work, it's not a great loss. So we'll shift it out of the way. What we want to look at is our belt mechanism here, which is actually belt driven. It's belt driven from the top here, which I thought it might be. And if I take the belt off, which is be replaced if I get it to work, to get it to run anyway. Right. And this is probably only held in with these two fucking screws. Probably fuck all else holding this chassis in. It's this gearbox I want to work on. Where do I get the feeling that no, it's just gonna fucking motor's just gonna drop off in it. Yeah. Comes off this side, you dopey bastard. There we go. It was making me itch working on this thing. Right, so what we'll do is take that little board off there as well. You probably all think there's something wrong with me. I've taken leaving my senses working on one of these, but I don't think so. You know, I think it's interesting. You know, and there's probably a lot of people who's never seen how one of these actually works. There's probably not a lot of people who actually care about how one of these works, but right, let's put the fucking motor back in. That's it. Tighten that one, although I didn't undo that one, but still. Right, so basically how this works is simple. It's a very, very simple mechanism. And all that's wrong with it, I say it all, watch the circlet go flying. But I'm going to have a look in my boxes of shit and see if I can find a replacement gear. I might have to buy a bag of them gears like what's his name? My mate Vince. He bought a box of gears and he found one to do the few jobs that he did. And so let's get this one off. Right, this gear's fucked anyway, but I want to try and keep it in one piece for the minute, because right, so that's that. That all needs cleaning. That's broken off, and that has a gear at the bottom there which drives. Clean all this crap off, it's full of corrosion, that. You know, the gears just fucking sort of fell to bits there. This gear here is okay. And this gear here that drives the motor, that's okay. That's driven from the motor, that's okay. It's just this intermediate one here that isn't okay. So that shaft needs to be cleaned, but that's a long way from being done. That'll clean up that. And yeah, so that's basically this top gear connects to here, and the bottom of the gear went to there, so it just went on here. And that's how it works. So. It's basically just finding one of them gears. So I might have to order a box of those gears, like, but I can have a look at the wiring actually, because that's been fucking chopped about. Not on this actually, it's okay. It's alright on this. It's been, I think it's, yeah, it's been chopped off from here, because that's your, yeah, because look here folks, you've got your red and black here, and this is your supply. So I need to sort that out. Yeah, that's your supply for your motor. So can undo that there. Right. Right, that's just an extension of those wires. That board just provides an extension of those wires. There's no components on it, and they've been snipped here to cut the power to it, so that's no problem. We can sort that out. There should be a black wire in there, which I've got a feeling is still on the chassis there somewhere. So what we need to do is we need to look. The main gear, the main big gear, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. So I'll have to try and buy one of them bags of assorted gears and see if there's one in there that'll fit this with the right teeth pitch and stuff. But this one is, as you can see, it's actually rotted and it's gone soft. But I would like to keep it in one piece, so I'd like to keep it for now, because then I know. I mean, I can't repair that. That's beyond repair. I mean, it's fucking fucked. But you know, that's fucked. But I'd like to keep that for now, and that way I know what size gear I actually need. So there's not really anything else I can do with this at the moment. I mean, I could put a pulley on there and a pulley on here. Trouble is, it goes the opposite way around. I'd have to put the motor. I'd have to run the motor backwards. I'd have to do some jiggery pokery to make it work if I did that. But anyway, I could even probably fucking drive it with a fucking idler. You know, get something onto here and get rid of this post here. But a belt would be a good solution, wouldn't it? You know, that would be a good solution, wouldn't it? A belt. If we could get something this size, get it, you know, get some of this another gear of this diameter, or something that'd fit on here, you know, that'd be a good solution. That would work as well. And that's the belt off it, so we'll put the belt back on for now, although the belt is fucked, it is going to get replaced, so I'll put it back on and I know what size I want when I come to change it. But this might not be as bad as it seems, so what we'll do, we'll put that in that box there, because there's not a lot we can do with that at the moment. And we'll put all these little bits in that box because they belong to it. Not a lot we can do with that, so that's pending further investigations. There's a big blue ass fly in here as well. I don't like fucking flies, they're horrible. The only place you should ever fucking expect to see a fly is on the front of your trousers. Put that there out of the way. So what we'll do, folks, because we can't really do anything else, what we'll do, we'll actually have a look at the record deck. So we'll see what the situation here is. Actually, it's in not bad nick. It's rubbish. We know that, but it's not in bad nick as far as, I mean, even put a fake thing there. Look, so you know, to make it look like it's got a counterbalance adjustment. You just have to fucking love them, don't you? So what we can do with this, we can actually power. We can indeed. We can indeed. We can power our BSR and see if the motor works. I'm gonna take a wild assumption here. I'm gonna say that the blue one is negative. And I'm shoving them all the way in, there's less risk of them shorting. Right. I know the cartridge is working because I'll just get that one out of the way of that one. There we are, keep them fucking, it stays fucking separate, you bastard. There we go. Right. I know the cartridge is working because I stroked the arm the other day. I stroked it the other day when it was plugged in, and so I know it's working, so I'm not worried. I'm not worried about that. So what we'll do, we'll take that out in a minute for safety. We'll turn on our power supply, which will be followed by a load of our other instruments coming on, or just a meter. Right, so what we'll do, we'll plug... Is that broke? No. Just a crappy plug. So we're on. Turn that to off. No, that's supposed to be off. Oh, it is. Alright, and it's 12 volts motor. There we are. 45, and that doesn't look like 45 to me. It does now. Right. Plenty of torque. Definitely audiophile quality, this, isn't it? I mean, this is plenty of torque. I mean, you could use this, you know, you could broadcast with this, it's no problem. You know, this is definitely of broadcast quality, I think. So what we're going to do, we know the motor works. So what we'll do, we'll... Look at that, it draws very little current, doesn't it? The power supply is off, by the way. It's still getting power. Right, so what we'll do to start with, we'll get the switch cleaner, and we'll also get a cotton bud or two. And what we'll do, look at the shit that's come off that. Look at that crap that's come off, I'll give that a bit more. Hang on a minute, folks. Hey. Dee 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 dee. Right, there we go. Right. We'll give that belt a clean, it's a bit grubby. And look at what they give you for a bearing. So what we'll do, we'll clean that. My cloths are in the kitchen, I've not brought them back, I washed my cloths, folks. Where's those two fucking cotton buds I just had? They'll do. Just clean all this crap off here. There we go, look at that. Don't know what model of BSR this is, folks. I'm going to try and clean that belt. It's a bit crusty, but saying that, it still works. So because there's no way on the planet I'm putting fucking my hand in my pocket for a belt for this thing. I mean, I'm planning on. So what we do, get the grease down. Get the grease. You're probably supposed to use silicone grease for this, but who cares? Just give it a dot of this stuff. Just put a dot of that round the spigot. Back on there, get a bit more. I mean, they're fucking horrible, these things. There we are. Doesn't take much to service one of these turntables, all does it? Put that on. Right, let's get the oil. Give it a bit of oil. Use the spray oil, it's fucking easier. Because the canned one's there. I've got this one now. No, that's not coming out. I think it's running out, that. Alright, let's lift that up. Spin that again. That's actually not bad. For one of these anyway. Get the IPA. In fact, what I'll do, that belt's a bit crappy, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to clean it with the detergent, because I've got a fucking cloth. There was one. Can't fucking see it. Never mind. Use my fucking shirt. Change the colour after anyway, don't matter. This belt's actually in good condition. It's just wipe it with my hand. All the crap that's come off that belt. Actually, the belt's in good nick. It's not bad. Did look a bit crusty, but it's not. Now look at that. It's probably its original belt as well. And do you know something? Let me go and get my cloth. I'm going to have to clean it again now. I've just got fucking grease on the belt. What a dopey ass. Yeah, proper dumb ass. That's got it. Right, let's go and get my cloth. Oh. Yeah, that's a nice pile of shite. Right, so we're back with the cloths. They don't look any cleaner, but trust me, they've been through the Indesit. They've been washed. There we go. See, I'm only doing this in case I can't fit another fucking deck in the bastard. At least this one I know I can put it back in and use it. Right, now put the belt, fitting the belt on these. Be careful not to touch that grease we've just put on. Basically, you put it round the drive drum. There's a number on there, but I don't know what it means. About 1980, something like this, isn't it? And what you do, you put your... Oh, it's over this side, isn't it? Some of them are over that side. Some of the motors. That feels okay. Just give it a quick... There we go. And all you do, you line it up. Like that. And then okay. Sure, I had that lined up. No. So I need to just move it about there. No, that's not on either. It fell off. Yeah. This is putting a belt on, folks. Yeah, it didn't fucking stay there long, did it? It flicked off. Get on, you cunt. Hook it onto there. And then hook that, drop that down, and then turn it. And it still come off. But it actually went on that time, it fucking popped off the cunning thing. See, the idea is you've got to have them. I generally put them so that they're about there. Because if they're too far up, they fucking ride up and fucking pop off the top of the motor. Generally get them about centre. Yeah. This is entertaining, this, isn't it, folks? Watching a fat fucker trying to put a fucking BSR belt on. There we are. And you know when you're on, because you just whiz it round, that fucking red light comes on. So what we'll do now, we'll turn our power supply back on. And we should be 45 RPM. 33. That switch is still a bit on the dodgy side. But there's even a way around that. Because if I remember rightly, you could take those switches apart. Lift this off. There we are. That'll all need to be cleaned. That's a bit. Mind you, that has nothing to do with it though. So this should pop out. This should pop out. I can't remember how they popped out, but I know they do. Not that way. Mind you, saying that, that's plenty of tight, that, isn't it? It's not loose. Yeah. And we'll leave that as it is. There we go. Screws back in. What's actually on this board anyway? There won't be much of anything on it, I don't think. Couple of transistors, that's a regulator there. Couple of capacitors. 2 transistors, that'll be for your speed, 45 and 33 respectively, I would have thought. And you've got your speed adjusters here for 45 and 33. You can turn these right up, but you can't quite get them to 78. I suppose if you made a modification you could probably do it, but why would you want to anyway? Because the stylus doesn't allow it anyway, so you wouldn't want to. I mean, I would want to if I was going to put a 78 RPM stylus in it, then I would want to, because I've got 78s, but this is one of the last of the actual British BSR, the made in Britain BSR, so we're all fucking All the plastic ones were made in Taiwan, and the turntables come off. The belt's gonna come off again. Yep, fucking belt's dropped off. Forgot to put the clip on. But there again, I didn't do that I did that for a reason anyway. I want to clean the drive drum. The drive drum needs to be cleaned. So we use a bit of whiz to clean the drive drum. I mean, they made these turntables as like a one size fits all because they could put extra belt hooks in here. Right, well the belt is in good condition, and you buy a Crosley, within a year the belt's gone. I mean, this belt isn't even stretched because it's supposed to be that much slack there. It's not supposed to be tight on the drive drum, because it's got to allow you to grip it so you can put the fucker on. So the belt is actually in good condition. It's probably one of the few parts on this fucking thing that is. There's still plenty of boing in that, not a problem with it whatsoever. I don't have any trouble with reusing this belt. Don't have any problem with that whatsoever. The only thing I have a problem with, getting the fucking thing to stay where I want it. I mean, once it's on, it'll be on until it comes off again. So, put that just over the motor there. There we are. Just check it. 45 and 33. Don't know how accurate that is. I don't expect it to be accurate. But that's about normal torque on them anyway. The belt's come off. The belt's come off. I'll tell you what I'm going to do while I'm here actually. I'm going to give the motor, that's the wrong one. Where is it? There it is. And I just give the motor a very, very light squirt of oil. There we are. Let's turn it on for a minute. Let that run. That motor's nice and quiet now. It was a bit noisy a minute ago. Yeah. Let's put our belt back on. I mean, these were fucking shit, these decks, but I mean, hang on. Oh, it was a bit of a body warmer, that one, folks. It's sort of warmed my arse on its way out. See, what you have to do, the idea is to not stop the turntable when it's running, and then the belt won't come off, but I like to get them on the edge here, just like that. Fucking hell, that is not a nice smell. Right, I'll let that run for a minute or two. And it can find its own fucking place. Get the excess, wipe up the excess oil. That's nice and quiet now, that motor. You could hear that motor a minute ago. Yeah, that's a bit, the switch is better. Let's put our clip back on if I've not lost it. There it is. Alright folks, and that's how you service the Alan Sugar Special BSR. I'll tell you what model this BSR is in a second. I didn't even look. We'll know what model it is in a minute. It's certainly like one of the last of the ones with a metal base plate. Anyway, all the fucking rest of them are plastic ones. After these, there were no fucking proper decks after this. Right, so what model BSR is it? P267A1. So it's a P267. I mean, they made this so you could have the motor over that side as well. I mean, yeah. There's your tone arm wire. You got your your tetrad cartridge there, which doesn't have a stylus in it, but it is working. I have tested that cartridge and it's got good output, so we're alright there. So apart from this just needing a wipe, because about the best part of this thing is the deck. Let's turn it back on. Yeah. Turn the power supply off. Take our leads out. Move the cloth. I'm going to have a fag now, folks. I think I deserved a fag, don't I? There's probably loads of you going to be ridiculing me after when you watch this. Why are you doing that? Well, why not? It's the simple response. Besides, there's probably a lot of people who like to see how one of these Amstrad fucking pieces of shit things work. Now in part 2, this is part 1, disassembly and going over the deck and finding out we definitely do have a fucked up gear, which I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to replace. If the drive mechanism to run the turntable in and out is ever to work again. We're considering an auto changer. That's part of the plan. Put an auto changer in. I mean, you know, I wouldn't even give this deck to anybody. I can't think of anybody I don't like. I can't think of anybody who I hate enough to actually force that onto. But it'll go back into its Amstrad, I think. We'll see. If I can't get that to go in and out electrically, hey, the rag and bone man's out. If I can't get it to work electrically, folks, or electronically, however you want to term it, let's put this stuff up here because I need to get to me fags. If I can't get it to work that way, what I will do, I will assemble it to how it became accustomed, sort of, and I'll just put a nice little silver knob on the front, and I'm planning on putting a Bluetooth module in this as well. So if I don't get the rest of the unit to, if I don't get this to work, let's move some of this crap because I need to get to the computer. Anyway, what I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to put a Bluetooth module in here somewhere as well. So, you know, if I can't get the if I can't get the deck to go in and out, that's no great problem. But I'm going to put a Bluetooth module in, and I'll probably use this switch here to switch between record player and Bluetooth. So, you know, it's a couple of ideas floating about for this at the moment, but you know, yeah, you probably all think I'm crazy for working on this, but hey, what happened? You know, shit happens. You know, when I was a kid, these things were my bread and butter. When I was doing it back in the day, when I was going out servicing and stuff, these things were my bread and butter. You know, because Alan Sugar made rubbish, he kept me. He kept me in money. Kept me in fags and beer. Thank you very much, Alan Sugar. Join me for part 2 later, folks. Bye for now.